All New People takes place in a beach house in New Jersey in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
And it's about these four strangers who don't know anything about each other and come together through a series of bizarre events. They all end up in this beach house. And it's about the 90 minutes that they come together and sort of explode in a way together between partying and doing lots of drugs and screaming at each other and laughing with each other. And in a lot of ways, I think of it as a breakfast club for adults in that those kids were forced to be with each other and they drove each other a little nuts, but at the end they had all learned something about one another.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, that's sort of a good way to sum it up. So it's about four people who are all at really, really crucial crossroads of their lives, and it's about the company of strangers, really.
You've chosen to play the main character, Charlie, yourself, which you didn't in New York, is that right?
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do that? To be on the West End stage?
I'd always dreamed of being on the West End stage, and I thought this was the way of cheating to sneak onto it. I wrote the part for myself, and I was going to do it in New York, but I got talked out of it. And I'm glad I did, because it was the first time the play was being done. So I did quite a bit of work on it to get it to where it is now. And I really felt when we got invited here that it was ready, that I could feasibly step in and play the role. I wrote it for myself now because we had figured out so much in New York. We start out in Manchester, we do a week there, and then we do a few days in Glasgow.
Oh, it's good you're doing a tour.
Yeah, we want to sort of, first of all, it's fun to sort of kind of bring it around a little bit, and at the same time they'll help us figure. It's kind of like a preview process. They'll help us figure it out, and we'll sense what works and what doesn't work before we bring it to the Duke of York.
How do you think Scrubs kind of molded your comic timing and help with your script writing?
The writers were great, and Bill Lawrence, who created it, is just so smart and funny. And I think one of the things I really took from it is the ability to appreciate the ability to be able to tell something, doing something really funny. I mean, in Scrubs, you could have the most broad, crazy fantasy, and then come around the corner and you've got tears in your eyes because a patient's dying. And a lot of people, if you told them that you could do that, with a show without commercials is 20 minutes long, that you could pull those sort of hairpin turns, they wouldn't believe it. But I think that that's one thing I really learned about the writing is that I like talking about the saddest parts of our lives through laughter, and I think Scrubs did that really artfully.
Did you expect it to be as successful as it was? Because it's really zany, isn't it?
I had no idea. I mean, 8.5 years for a TV show in the States is very rare and very, very lucky. And then not to mention, some shows will do that well in the States, but not translate internationally. But Scrubs is everywhere. Yeah. I mean, South America, obviously, Europe, Israel. I was taking a tour of Israel, and I was on a kibbutz, getting a tour, and this farm girl looks up and she's like, "JD?" So it's been a really bizarre thing to me how the universality of the comedy, how it's been appreciated by so many different countries is something I never would have guessed.
And so, do you still see those guys all the time? Because you're, is it right that you're best friends with Donald?
We just went to Hawaii on vacation together.
Oh, really?
We really are that couple romantically. Our girlfriends just sit there while we're riding around each other's backs.
Are you going to work together again soon?
I can't wait. Yeah, he's going to come out here to see this. He told me, and we just got to find the right thing. We need a little time for Scrubs to a little space from Scrubs before we jump back into something. But I would love to write something for us. We have a great banter. I was thinking about a buddy cop movie, or I love a great heist movie. I was thinking about something with a bumbling heist movie with two people who are completely inadequate trying to rob something. I always find that funny.
Music is a massive influence on you as well, isn't it? What's the soundtrack to All New People like? Has it got any young
All New People,
bands?
there's music. There's the music in All New People is because of a story element is sort of Irish folk music, believe it or not.
Okay.
There's a whole British subplot. So there isn't much of a chance for me to incorporate too much cool music, except for the pre-show music when the audience is coming in. I promise that will be really cool. So that's where I sneak in my music taste, is in our pre-show music.
So what do you think about, people have coined it the Zach Braff effect, haven't they, when you play songs that you really like and like by unknown indie bands and they're suddenly kind of shot
Well,
to
I'm here to
stardom.
tell you that's complete bollocks.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know anything.
You don't know anything about what?
Well, I did win a Grammy, but I don't. Yeah, I have a Grammy for a mixtape. I mean, I don't know anything. I have a lot of musician friends. They give my Grammy the evil eye when they see it because they're like, you don't deserve that thing. The truth of the matter is that I don't know more about music than anyone else. I love music, and I have a lot of musician friends, and so they're often giving me music they know I'll love, and I'm always making playlists on iTunes of stuff I like, and now it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy because people know my music taste, so they send me music, and I end up loving it.
Yeah.
So what I do love is helping discover new bands, and which Garden State was great for, and the Last Kiss soundtrack was great for. I love being able to say, because I'm in a position I'm in, this you have to. How come no one knows about this band? You have to hear them. And we were able to do that a lot on Scrubs as well.
You're a pilot?
I am a pilot. I fly for Virgin Atlantic.
Why? How did you do that? Why?
You know, at a certain point in my life, I realized that I was a nervous flyer. I realized that anytime there was any jolt, I was like clutching the...
Yeah, I am like that. Should
well,
I learn to fly?
So I had the idea that if I took a lesson, maybe I'd learn a little bit about aviation and not be as nervous. And not only did that happen, but I fell in love with it, and I got my license. Yeah.
Wow, when was this?
You know, one can do it a lot quicker than I did it, but I took my time because of my schedule. I did it it took me about 2 years.
Do you own a plane?
Yeah, a small plane, not a... Whenever I say I own a plane, people look at me like they picture this like Oprah Winfrey jet with like a bed in it. No, I have a little 4-seater single engine Cirrus.
Where do you keep it? In New Jersey?
It's in New Jersey.
How often do you get to fly?
It goes in waves. It's like any when my schedule allows. But I really love it.
But you own a restaurant as well. I've learned all these random facts.
Yeah, you could write a trivia book on me. I invested. I'm one of the owners. I invested in a seafood restaurant in Manhattan. Even though everyone said that's the dumbest thing you could possibly ever do with your money, I wanted to support. An old high school buddy of mine was the main chef, and I wanted to support him, and so I rolled the dice, and it's doing fabulously. It's called the Mermaid Oyster Bar. If you happen to be in New York City, 79
nice
McDougal.
Plug.
Thank you. I love to plug restaurants in the West Village of Manhattan to a British audience.